We're back. This is the final video in sort of the base series. I may make a couple appendices depending on what I decide, but I'm not really sure yet. So we have our base DEM here. It's Mount Rainier. It's kind of underwhelming, but geospatially accurate. Sometimes life is like that. So today we're going to be looking at the drawing portion of this workflow. This is the part that I think is really cool, and this is why we're going to all the trouble of exporting a DEM and doing all this craziness when there are plenty of easier ways to get this 3D model. So we're going to go back to our image sampler here and double click it, and you'll notice I have auto update checked. This is really important. Auto update means that every time this file changes, the image sampler will detect it and update it, which means it's going to update everything downstream of the image sampler. So if something gets higher in the DEM gradient, it's going to get higher in the model, or not higher, it will get taller in the model. So I'm going to demonstrate this in a variety of ways. Go ahead and pull up the models that we have it, and I'm going to vertically exaggerate it a few times just so that it's easy for us to tell what's going on. Okay, maybe not that much. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, so I already have, you can edit this in anything that will let you edit a JPEG. I'm using GIMP for this tutorial because it's free and open source. But you can use Photoshop, you can use, theoretically, I guess you can use like MS Paint, kind of whatever drawing software will let you draw upon and export a JPEG or PNG or whatever image file type you're working with, the image sampler will take. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up. Ta-da! Here we are. We're going to go ahead and create a peak using the dodge tool. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of brighten this up quite a bit. So now we have a new peak that is sort of forming. And I'm going to go ahead and go back to GIMP and overwrite our old file quality. I'll put it up to 100. And that's our new peak that we just drew right there. You know, I might even up the vertical exaggeration further so that you can really see what's going on. That's as good as it's going to get. Yeah, and I'll also preview some. Yeah, we're just going to look at the mesh for now. So that's I don't know if that was super noticeable, but what will be noticeable is if we invert one of these peaks, for example. So I'm going to go ahead and turn up my size, switch from dodge to burn, and now we have a giant sinkhole. So when I overwrite that, boom, now we have a giant hole in the ground. And that's sort of the power of this, is that you can get very expressive with it. So say we kind of want to darken all of this to create almost like a sort of canyon system or something. Um, we can do that. We can have it sort of run into this hole. We can even have that come up to the very side of the mountain to create a sort of cliff system. And then we can overwrite that. And now we have this giant Y in our model. So you get the idea. You can really get pretty crazy with what you do with this. You can really you know, be very measured and very kind of tame with it, or quite aggressive. And in fact, I'm gonna try to show being a little more tame with it. First off, I'm going to set our vertical exaggeration back to what it's supposed to be. And you can see it's much more mellow now, and that's just by virtue of that's how the topography looks at this scale. But I'm going to go ahead and try to put in sort of a very, I guess in real life, what would be a very large swale right about here. So I'll open up the image editor, and I'll sort of show you how we can, well, if I can figure out how to zoom, show you how we can edit in a more measured way. So I'm going to use the eyedropper tool to copy what essentially represents the elevation at the bottom of this right here. So I can draw with this elevation now. So I've made a cut in the landscape right here. And now I'm going to go ahead and ease that cut out like so. So see, I'm sort of pulling it around. And I'm just going to, keep working these contours, more or less. Some of that, and then what's nice about working at sort of a lower resolution is that these will ease out and be sort of hard to spot very directly. That's probably good enough to see. Go ahead and overwrite that. And now, if I'll vertically exaggerate so it's easier to spot. I believe actually let me go to mesh and contours. What we've done is now visible right through here, so you can sort of see that swale signature that we drew in. Yeah, so that's just one example of this kind of manipulation workflow. There's all kinds of things you can do with it. One of the things I didn't really touch on that would have been interesting is the ability to create caves. If you take two black and white images and you flip one and put them on top of each other, that could be a way to do that. Yeah, but that's about it. Feel free to reach out via email. It's in the documentation that's available on my Gumroad, link in the description. This script uses all vanilla Grasshopper components, so no extensions or anything. Yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. Other than that, have fun. This is a you know, fun little toy. Maybe you'll use it for something cool. I know I haven't yet, but I'm hoping I will soon. So, anyways, thanks for watching.